You're listening to What She Grows Through, a podcast dedicated to empower and uplift Black women to grow their self-worth. I'm your host, Shanell, Lamere, one of many dope Black women, creating a community for us to pour into and align with one another, uncovering our true feelings from sexuality to self-love, to begin growing through life and evolving into our best authentic selves. Let's get started. Hey everybody, it's your girl Shanell Lamere, and I'm back with another episode. Now today, I want to talk about something that I wrote about on my blog, and it was called What Lies Beneath the Beauty of Transparency. Now this was just me taking a deep look into trying to understand myself and putting those feelings and those emotions into words so that I can better connect with myself, but also allow others to align with the things that I'm going through. And I know a lot of people go through different things, and maybe they might be going through the same things that I'm going through, but if I'm able to express myself and dig deep in trying to find myself, maybe it might help someone else. So basically what I was talking about is we all have bad days, right? There's some times where you may be feeling down, and I feel like it has nothing to do with just being a female. Of course we're emotional, but at the end of the day we're human, right? So we have bad days, right? But how do we maintain the strength to come out of those bad days and to start redirecting our emotions into a positive way so that we can come out of those things? And I'm talking about, our feelings that lie beneath the surface. How do we uncover those so that we're better at understanding those emotions and we don't just let them go unannounced. I started talking about myself on how instead of internalizing my own thoughts and keeping them bottled up, because I don't know if it's me being a Pisces or me being the person that I am. I think it really is just the person that I am. I'm really just a gentle, soft soul, and I don't like confrontation. In this can be a skill, but this can be a flaw also. I'm always putting other people first, and letting my feelings go to the wayside. So it's almost like I don't allow myself to feel down when I'm in those moments. I'm always trying to bring myself and lift myself back up. But what we really need to do is start embracing those emotions when they do come. It is perfectly fine to be sad, it's okay. But in those moments, we need to allow ourselves to be sad and to figure out why we're actually sad and uncover those actual emotions. So that's what I was trying to do. Uncover why am I feeling the way that I am, And then I started really thinking about, what I just said, why do I feel the way that I feel? Why am I sad sometimes, or what are my real emotions at the time? I think one of the main things about me personally is relationships. Now, before I go into my own, relationships, I have to think about why they're so important to me in the first place. So, growing up, I watched my mom, struggle with her own relationships and, struggle to keep men in her life. And I saw how that affected her mentally. And now knowing this, how it affected her, I realized that it affected me as well, I'm able to admit that this contributed to how I internalize my own thoughts and my emotions. So, thinking about that, like, my first real relationship with another man was my own father. And I'm going to get into, that's a topic I'm definitely going to get into an episode in terms of that. But growing up, that wasn't even a good relationship, like, I remember so many times waiting on a porch for my dad to come pick me up or come see me when he said that he was. And, so many times, like, I would be waiting for hours at a time, and he would never come. Like, he would never show up. And, as a little girl, like, you don't really understand that, but I just commend my mom because she never put any bad thoughts into my mind about my own dad. She allowed me to, make those, observations myself, even though I was just this young little girl. But my only relationship with him really was when he came back, when he would go to jail. That's when he would write me, and we would have, conversations about how he wanted to be a better dad. And that's when I really got to know my dad. Now, there were some times when he wouldn't be in jail and I got to spend, a little bit of time with him. But those things are big and so important for a little girl. You don't realize how much that affects you until you get old enough to understand it all. So seeing my mom, and she struggled with her own issues with her dad. So seeing her try to find dad in these other men, and I realized I was following in those same footsteps. I didn't have the right relationship with my dad. And although, I struggled a bit, like, with boy issues and stuff in the beginning, but mainly seeing my mom, it made me realize that I wanted a relationship from the beginning. Like, like, I wanted to start something from the ground up. I wanted to build something. And even though I was that 16-year-old, like, those feelings were strong. So it's almost like, I got into, relationships for that. Now, my first relationship, I think I was about 16. He had his mom and his dad, and our relationship was so strong, it was almost like his dad was my dad. So I got to feel kind of a void of having my own dad in my life. The puppy love and, the off and on. At the end of the day, we were still very young. But, like, those emotions are strong. Then, like, it doesn't matter. That first relationship was very toxic. Lasted all the way up into college, and it was really bad. It took me almost a year to actually end it. But, at the end of the day, I did. But, I took a lot from that. The thing is, I realized that I've been in relationships, like, back to back up until this point. But I've been in relationships for so long, I never really had a chance to be alone. After that relationship, I met a guy in college, a great guy. But, we were together for a couple years, and then after that, I met my son's dad. So literally, it was back to back. It's crazy because I thought that I was doing the right thing, like with my son's dad. I honestly can say that, things moved very fast, and it was to the point where I was almost trying to get over. I think with all my relationships, like, I was always trying to get over the next relationship. Now, what I didn't realize was I wasn't allowing myself to really heal in between those relationships and taking those moments to focus and understand myself. And if I did that, I wouldn't put myself in those same, situations. But with my son's dad, like I said, things were moving really quick, and I thought I had it all. I was engaged. I had the guy. I had a great job. I had my own place. I had a car, and we decided that, we wanted to have a kid. Now, I've always wanted to have kids. Family is so important to me. So when we had this conversation, oh my God, I just went full force. And it's crazy because there were warning signs that maybe I should have took a break. Maybe I should have slowed down a little bit. But when things are in my mind, when I have something set, I have tunnel vision almost. So from that point on, after that conversation, it was just let's have this baby. And like I said, there was so many different warning signs, and it took me almost about 4 months to actually get pregnant. But yeah, I was pregnant, and that's when things got real. Shit just got real. Now I'm saying that I got an amazing little boy out of the deal. Honestly, I would do everything over if I had to, just to get my little boy. At the end of the day, he's everything that I ever wanted. So, you have to go through things in order to grow through things, right? That's what this podcast is all about, right? You have to go through it. We all go through it, but you have to take these things and these lessons, and you have to analyze it and figure out how you can come out a better person in it. You're just growing, you're just gaining some more leaves, you're gaining some more branches, you're gaining some more roots to grow into this beautiful tree. It's so crazy that very after Bryce was born, I almost felt like I was a single parent. I didn't know if I was going through postpartum depression or if the guy I was with was really just not for me. And the thing is, I'm such an affectionate, I'm such a good person when it comes to I'll say a great partner. But when somebody is just not for you, there's just no trying to make it work, honestly. But I didn't realize that before I got pregnant. So I had my baby, and feeling like a single mom, I realized that I was trying to make it work with someone who didn't want to work with me, and only saw, to me, it made it seem like he only saw my flaws, and I just could not get right. And the crazy thing is that I never had these issues in my other relationships, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on? Now I got this baby, I'm knee deep in this shit, and here I thought my life was, going in the right direction, and now I'm gonna be a statistic. Now I'm gonna be a single black mom, right? But me being in the mental health field, I feel like that helped so much, because although it took a while for me to think these things and try to understand what was about to happen, but I'd rather go through these things alone and be happy and heal myself than be in a situation where I'm miserable and I can't talk to the person that I'm supposed to be with. It's just not gonna work. And so many people stay in these relationships for the wrong reasons. They want to stay for the child, but they're both miserable, and they'll be better off co-parenting and being with someone who's more in tune with them than to, just stay together for the kid. And I realized I want to be happy. In the end, that's all. I mean, obviously, that's what we all want, right? We all want to be happy, and I couldn't be in this relationship. I tried talking, having conversations and stuff, but like it was always brought back on me. Like I was the bad person. Doesn't matter if we had full 2, 3, 4 hour conversations, like nothing would get done. So I really had to end that relationship and be out here as, that single Black parent. But, that was okay. What I wanted and what I realized is I can't allow myself to lose myself. And I was losing myself. And it's crazy because there's actually like words and vocabularies to understanding what was actually going on. And I'll talk about that in different episodes. But being in the mental health field, I had the skills to recognize early that there was nothing that I really could do. I tried all of that I could, and I had to understand that I have to love myself first. Bryce was about 4 months when I made that the best and most courageous decision in my life to leave his dad. And honestly, it was the best situation. I mean, it was the best decision for me. Our children, they need to be surrounded by, healthy relationships. They need to see their mom, being loved correctly. They need to see their dad being loved correctly. They don't need to be in toxic environments and situations just because, a couple wants to stay together. And I wouldn't ever want my little boy to grow up and see, his mom suffer in a situation and, kind of see how my mom suffered, This is a real, tough topic to discuss, but, I feel like this is the beauty of being transparent and, trying to understand, what lies beneath the surface, understanding your feelings and your emotions. It all goes back to relationships. I want that perfect relationship, right? We all want that. And, despite all my other relationships, I'll never stop trying to obtain that. The thing is, when stuff is done, to hurt me, I never retaliate. I think that's just the person that I am. I suck that shit up and, try to move on. But what I realize now is I need to learn how to heal myself before I move on to another relationship. It doesn't mean moving on and jumping right into another relationship. It's understanding what went wrong in your previous relationship and how can you heal yourself? How can you be a better person? What can you take out of that last relationship to, allow it to help you grow into a better you, so that those things won't happen in another relationship. But you'll be able to spot those things out, spot those warning signs, so that you won't put yourself back in those situations. Of course, we all want to be happy in the end, right? That's the end goal. But this life that we live is just so challenging, obviously. And our decisions, every decision that we make, they all have consequences. And of course, we have to learn from them. But man, don't you wish that you knew the right one so you can bypass a few of these heartbreaks? Why is it that women are set up the way that they are? I don't know. It's just, we go through so much. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to always go back to, but we grow through it. What She Grows Through. That's the name of this podcast. What She Grows Through. Women like me, we go through so many struggles behind the scenes. Yet we suck it up and we put on a good face, We don't want no confrontations. But the thing is, you shouldn't be ashamed of your story, as it shapes you into the person that you're going to continue to grow to be. It's just, part of the journey, part of your journey. It's what makes all of us different. We're all going through, how can I say this? We're all going through the journey, right? We're all going through, different paths, but, the end goal is all the same. We all want to be happy. We all want to just feel free. I saw this post. It said, on social media. I don't even remember who posted it, but it said, please stop calling black women strong as a compliment. Strong is why our mortality rate in medicine is high. Strong is why our pain is not taken seriously. Strong is why there is less empathy for us. Strong is why we're put last in every movement because we can handle it, right? Like air quotes, because we can handle it. I believe like too many black women at some point go through this. And this statement spoke to me on so many levels. Like, I'm only 29, but in my 29 years, I've been taught that you have to be strong. And, you know, I couldn't voice my worries and my concern as is looked as I was complaining and I needed to get over it. That's what I did in my relationships, you know? Like, I rarely complained. You know, I sucked it up. Like, obviously, I would talk about it, you know? But I don't know. It's just something about us, like, you know, that strong black woman syndrome. Like, we need to realize that we have to, obviously we have to stick together, but we can't be strong all the time. We have to let our guard down sometimes and embrace our emotions and our feelings. We have to let it out. It's so hard. Like, I struggle with that myself. Like, just going through anything. It doesn't even have to be relationships. Like, you know, being a mom or just being a black woman. So much. We have so much up against us that we never have time to actually understand and heal ourselves. Voice our emotions. Uncover, you know, how it really makes us feel. And we got to start doing that. I'm so happy that, like, us black women are starting to come together and starting to uncover all of these different emotions and these different things that we all deal with. And we're starting to not see each other as, you know, competition and competitors, but we're starting to lift each other up. That's the best thing that we can do. I mean, at an early age, I was suppressing my own emotions because I was afraid, you know, of a response that I would get. Obviously, you know, back in the day, oh, you're too young to have those kind of emotions, or you're whatever. How are we supposed to move on if we can't express how we really feel? And these are so important for us, like, you know, to be able to have these conversations. Even seeking out professional therapy. I'm glad we're starting to do that now. And if you have any suggestions on black women therapists, definitely let me know, because I'm looking for one. But I don't want to hide behind a smile. I want you all to know that this smile that you see is me trying every day to think positively and constantly looking for things to be thankful for. I want you guys to really know who Shanell Lamere is. As Nipsey Hussle said, this life is a marathon, right? But we have to wake up each day and find ways to build our purpose, to put our stamp on the world. Loving yourself is the best self-care that there is. So in order to love yourself, you have to learn yourself. You have to learn who you actually are. It's so deep, and I can't wait to uncover these things with you guys. But putting yourself first and acknowledging your emotions and feelings and putting them to use, this goes far beyond relationships. I mean, I just wanted you guys to know a little about me and my own struggles. To sum this all up, we have to start allowing ourselves to become vulnerable and really receive and understand our emotions. And when we actually go through those things, go through certain situations, in those moments, we have to uncover how they really make us feel and take those things and put it to use to figure out how we can grow from that. When we're sad, allowing ourselves to be sad, allowing us to feel those emotions, and then taking those emotions and thoughts and reframing them to something positive. We're all beautiful, and our stories, oh my God, they're all so different, but they're equally important. They all help us to blossom into the best versions of ourselves if we allow them to. If we allow our stories to, how can I say this? If we take our stories and uncover what they really mean, I'm telling you, you'll start feeling free. You'll start feeling like a better person, and realizing that pain that you feel, like, that makes you like a badass for real. Like, that makes you grow. That's how you grow. That's what makes us strong women right there. That's the beauty of being transparent. And I mean, I'll drop the mic right there. Like, can't really drop this mic. But honestly, I hope you guys kind of understood where I was going with this. I went on a few tangents, but that's what I always do when I'm feeling down. You know, I'm a big writer, writing how I feel in the moment, then going back and allowing myself to really see, like, you know, where I was at and how I grew from that moment. But I want you all to, you know, start embracing your emotions. Start really digging deep and feeling how you feel. Allowing yourself to feel that way. Writing that down. And if you care to share, you know, my blog account is Shanell Lamere, and this podcast is What She Grows Through on Instagram and Facebook. I'm excited, you guys. I'm excited to have people on here so that you can, you know, see other or listen to other people's stories. And let's just all heal together. Let's all create a space to, you know, be our best selves and experience this journey together. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I would really appreciate if you would rate it and comment on Apple Podcasts. Give it 5 stars so that I can start boosting my credibility, you know, getting out there. What she grows through. It's about to be lit. It's about to be a hit. I'm excited to share all of these topics that I have with you guys. I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.